This right here is the Commodore SX64, Executive 64. It was released in 1984 and it was classed as a portable computer. It was made for all the business folk who were going around trying to do all their businessy stuff on the go. Maybe not in the train because this didn't have a battery or anything, but it has the moniker of being the first portable computer with a colour screen built in. It's also got a built-in floppy drive as well. Woo! It's basically a Commodore 64, which is arguably less portable because you could put a Commodore 64 in your backpack. This one weighs about 10 kilograms. Well, today we're going to be making music with this and figuring out how portable it really is. I've made a few songs before in a program called Messiah, which is a program made for Commodore 64. Because this is basically a Commodore 64 in a big and bulky case, well, it'll work on this too. In order to increase the capabilities of this, we're going to double up the SID chips inside this. Commodore 64s came with a single SID chip, which is a 3-channel digitally controlled analog synthesizer. There are upgrade cards, so you can double it up to get 2 SID chips in there, so you can get 6 channels powered by all of this malarkey. So I started by installing a SID FX card into this.
The first thing we needed to do was remove the top cover, which was 6 screws around the side and I think a couple around the back, and anyway it shows us what is inside. It's pretty much a Commodore 64 with a modified motherboard, which is what we just pulled out. This is the SID FX kit and it comes with a few wires that you have to pop in a few places. I removed the SID chip and replaced it with 2 SID chips on top of the SID FX board, and then we put these clips that would connect to the 6510 and a couple of other address places, but I didn't like how non-permanent they were, so I cut off the ends and soldered them onto the back because it just felt like it was going to fall off. Anyway, I drilled a hole for the output of the headphones. Those scratches were already there. It wasn't me, I promise. And that turned out alright inside the aluminium heatsink enclosure. Then we open up the SID FX program and we change the address lines so the second SID chip actually works with the Messiah program. And after we turn on Messiah, we can test it and boom, it should start working. Fingers crossed if it ever loads. Diagnostics, audio. Ooh. Lovely jubbly. Anyway, I went over to Cambridge Retrofest at Cambridge Museum as well. I didn't manage to get much footage, but managed to test it there. There was this awesome plotter across from my stand. It had the ability of changing felt tip pens to change colours as it went along. I think it was 1978. I could be wrong. It was fascinating. I was also next to Mitch and some interesting ham radio audio things. So this is Mitch's Arnix machine. Check it out. It's hack modular. Very interesting stuff indeed.
Now that's in there, let's figure out what to do with this. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a battery in it, which makes it even less portable than it already is. Also, this SX64 isn't a UK one. I couldn't find a transformer to plop it in, so I've got a conversion transformer. So we're going to lose a bit of efficiency by sending it up and down voltages willy-nilly. Completed into this completely ill-suited battery that is out of my Mini. We're only going to use it a little bit. Right, let's turn on the inverter. Boom. Now, let's see if we get power. This is completely powered by the battery. And are we getting power? Yes, we have power. Yeah, baby. In this current setup, I measured it. It uses about 0.3 amps, which is surprisingly good for this. I don't think the businessmen of the 1980s would have really appreciated having to modify a backpack to make it friendly to power it. But here I am in 2023, giving it a go. But I don't want to set this on fire, so I'm sufficiently isolating everything. I'm going to pop the thingamajiggy in here. Plugged in this side. Get this plugged in. And have this one coming out the side. Oh, jeez. There we go, we've got ourselves a battery power backpack.
And then I went for a little bit of a stroll, step by step, little by little. I could feel my right bicep slowly getting larger and larger and out of proportion with the left one. Oh no, I'm joking, I'm being over the top. It wasn't that heavy at all. People moan about this being a bit heavy. It's just the weight of a kind of normal briefcase or something, even though I've never had the need to have a briefcase. Like, I'm not a Wolf of Wall Street or anything. Anyway, we get to the end of the harbour, we set it up, which is a nice and quick process. We've got the battery pack in the backpack, which was starting to get a bit sore on the old back, and we plugged that in, and the only bit that's a little bit of a pain and time consuming is trying to get that cable into it from the keyboard. But after that, it starts working.
I've been using it next to the sea for a little bit. It's not that bad. It's just managed to crash though. Yeah, it's just crashed. Well, it's been running for about 10 minutes. It still seems to be working. I'd class that as portable, wouldn't you?
Then you quickly pack it up after looking at the pie charts or whatever you do in the 1980s on a portable computer on a harbour, and you go and engage in some daytime drinking. This was for research purposes only. It's not something I usually do. However, I couldn't help but feel like a bit of a bellend using a 1980s computer in a pub.
So here it is, the ultimate portable retro music making computer setup, sort of. It's really not, it's really not. I've been sat here for a little while working on Messiah, trying to make this song that I started the other day a little bit better. And yeah, it's not that bad. If I really want to stop on a lay-by and make some dodgy music, well, I can, I really can. Not bad. I've been here about 45 minutes. I've added that second part. My bum is getting a little bit numb on this, so we're going to finish this off later in the week. I'll do a video of this as a full song later on, but yeah, that is the portability of the SX64. It's not that bad. Ooh, lovely.